Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So Brad Garlinghouse was at the DC Blockchain Summit yesterday afternoon, and he was being interviewed about Ripple and XRP, was asked a few interesting questions. Also, there was a bit of a dig at JPM coin, which I found to be pretty funny. You know, I feel like Brad and whoever the interviewer was, I do not know her name, we're having a pretty good time there. She even made a point that, if this didn't work out for him, you could be a stand-up comedian. So, guys, this is Alex Cobb's, a link to Alex Cobb's stream. He did stream the event yesterday. I will leave a link to Alex Cobb's stream in the description of the video if you wish to catch this again. Ultimately, though, they were going on about, moving money, obviously the internet of value, the usual kind of introduction that Brad talks about when he talks about Ripple, XRP, what they're doing, the speed, and the fact that it's actually quicker to move money on an airplane, essentially, rather than being able to send anything to anybody through a bank. And he brought up a good point, something I never thought about. And he talked about payroll and why we get paid every 2 weeks. Do you guys know why we get paid every 2 weeks? Well, historically, payroll has been a chore, a task, and it once upon a time wasn't something that businesses wanted to do frequently. Well, with the advent of Ripple, could you imagine being paid every day or every hour for that matter? And that's kind of what Brad Garlinghouse was leading in with. And it's an interesting thought. I never actually stopped to think about that. Getting paid every 2 weeks, our system is kind of developed around that concept of getting money in your bank account every 2 weeks. He was talking about other countries like in Asia or some parts of Europe getting paid every month. But with Ripple technology, think about how our lives would change if you got paid every day. So if you broke down your weekly pay and broke that down, and let's say you make, I don't know, just to make it easy, $1,000 a week. If instead of getting $1,000 a week, you got paid $200 every day, and at the end of every day, your boss put $200 in your account, would your life change for the better or for the worse? And if you break that down even further every hour, let's say you have an hourly job and you got paid after every hour you clock in, you get paid your hourly wage. Let's say it's $10 an hour, $10 for every hour you worked. Now, obviously, if you're at work, you're probably not buying a lot of things. But again, how would this affect your life? And we have created systems, credit card bills, phone bills, telephone bills, right? Utilities, mortgages, everything is modeled around the system that once prevailed, the 2-week payroll. One of the bigger questions, actually, I just kind of wanted to touch on this, would we be a society of debt, or would we be more responsible with our money? Tell me what you guys think in the comments. I think that these are some interesting questions that we really need to kind of wrap our heads around. And if payroll does change in the future, what does that mean for us? Brad also mentions that, crypto has seen a bit of an evolution. It went from the Silk Road days, right, to buying illicit drugs or weapons, to speculation, people trading on spec, to ultimately real-world utility, and this is kind of where he was going with this. XRP has real-world utility, and the value will derive from its real-world utility. He says there are a lot of coins out there that he doesn't even know what they even do, and so for somebody in this space to be saying that, it's clearly not just in our heads, guys. A lot of those coins you see on CoinMarketCap are fairly useless. Just going to go right here, and you can see that there are so many coins. I mean, we know a lot of the names of these coins, but lots of them have no use cases. And Brad's ultimately stating that will ultimately result in these coins' downfall in the future. He talks about XRP in relation to Bitcoin and ultimately states that it is 1,000 times faster and 1,000 times cheaper than Bitcoin to do a transaction. And of course, as we know, XRP was born out of Bitcoin's failures. It is Bitcoin 2.0. It is the better Bitcoin. Why would anybody use Bitcoin to make global transactions around the world on a large scale when they can use a digital asset that is better at the task? He says in the space with regards to regulations that we're able to go, what was the quote? That the industry has asked all these companies like Ripple not to speed, but we haven't been given a speed limit. And so this is kind of where a little bit of the confusion comes from. Regulatory clarity is still coming down the pipes, and this is partially why Ripple is partnered with a lot of companies in other countries other than the United States, because in the US, we're still trying to sort that out. All right, other countries have come to the conclusion of how they want to clarify cryptocurrencies, the regulations of cryptocurrencies, and how that's going to look moving forward. When we're an interconnected society, though, we need to be able to function together to make global economies happen. And so the United States is a big part of that, obviously, because the economy in the United States is so large. And so we're all driving these super fast cars, and we don't know what the speed limit is yet, but hopefully we will clarify what that is so we can get moving. And ultimately, when Brad was asked about JPM coin, you know, it's funny. He said the only real great thing that he had to say about JPM coin was the fact that it will foster adoption for other cryptocurrencies. And cryptocurrencies that have a real world utility. People won't be scared of cryptocurrencies because JPM has released a coin and JPM is a name that people can trust. But he says that it ultimately stops there. He says that basically the JPM coin is not really useful in that why would you have a digital asset that you could only kind of trade in and amongst your own ecosystem? With Ripple and the capability of interoperability, why not just use the US dollar instead of the JPM coin, and then you can trade it within JPM, or you can trade it to other banks using XRP as that delivery method. It really just doesn't make sense. And so Brad was pointing that out. It is kind of funny that JPM would create a cryptocurrency that is ultimately their proprietary cryptocurrency. Brad mentioned that he did a talk with some of the banks and he was asking all the other bankers, well, would you hold JPM coin? Would you hold JPM coin? Would you hold JPM coin? To all JPM's competitors, and they're like, well, no, it's not our coin. You know, why would we do that? And Brad says that's exactly the point. And if all those other banks were to create their own cryptocurrencies, then we're in the same problem that we started. So interoperability is key. Using XRP as that facilitating driver, that digital asset that can transfer currencies from crypto to fiat, fiat to crypto, crypto to crypto, fiat to fiat, it doesn't matter. XRP can do it all. Brad also mentions how there are some banks who are adopting XRapid, the RippleNet technology, and they are seeing savings at this moment in time. He said that banks who used to charge $20 for a transaction are now charging only $2, and they're starting to see their volume spike. Guys, this is what I've been saying this whole time. Once one bank adopts, their competitors will have to, because they will reduce their fees by 90%, like this particular bank that Brad is talking about. Fees go way down. Customer adoption goes way up. All the competitors' customers will now go to that bank, and now what will the competitor have to do? Compete only by using the same technology, i.e. RippleNet. This is a perfect example of how the dominoes will fall, guys. Keep hodling your XRP investment. Amazing things are coming down the road. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.